Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in the pristine, untouched wilderness of the Calmlands. No, we will go with this one. The reason I'm going to go with this one is because it does have the flexible bit on the front. However, I'm going to leave the wheels as they are. So this is 3,500. We'll have that one, and then that will go with the timber runner, which means that I think I've actually got enough money to do that. I'll take this one up to the shop, and we'll sell this one, and that will allow us to get the timber runner and the dolly. So the dolly is a whole lot cheaper. I'm really hoping that this tractor does actually allow things to be hitched onto the bottom hitch, and although I think that was the mod, because both the tractors had that, and the other tractor I'm pretty sure does allow things to be hitched onto the lower hitch. Unless there's something really strange going on here that I'm not aware of. Let's put the beacon on and cut the traffic up terribly. We didn't really want to do that. I'm gonna buy the other stuff before we start doing the planting, because we can then go up and, you know, use a chainsaw, cut down a few trees while this one's starting to do planting, and then we can also get started on doing the we can start doing the work in the field even if we do run out of money partway through, and then we can get a load of timber back and we can sell that, and there's sort of going to be a little bit of money going forwards. I feel that's absolutely fine. So this one here, because we're upgrading our timber trailer, obviously this was now surplus to requirement. We don't need this one anymore, so we can get rid of this one. There is the cultivator, although it's unfolded there. Maybe that's the key. Maybe I have to have that one unfolded to be able to actually do anything with it. We'll have a look in a second. So you are definitely being sold. 3,200. That's possibly not enough. I think it's enough. That's 40,000. That puts me on 45. That is actually enough. We'll buy it right now. We'll do it right now before we do anything else. So before I second guess myself again, I want that one. Yes, okay. Back. Back again. Forestry equipment over here. That one. You are having, no, not the trailer hitch. You're having the Trelleborg wide tires on there for an extra 600. I've got the right number plate. Buy that one as, I can't buy that one as well because I have the money. We'll do that as soon as I come back for my next recording. I'm just about to stop now anyway. I got to do, yeah, so I've got to correct all of the errors that we've made. There's something that I do want to test before we rush off. I want to just make sure that this one here, because what I can do is I can actually take the seed drill with me on this one. So I want to fold this one up, and I want to see if I can leave it in the shed in a folded up position or not. I can't lower it down and do it. Drops it into the ground. See? That drops it right down into the ground. That's no good. We can't do that. But I can unhitch it from there. So that's what we'll just have to do. We'll have to do it like that. That's absolutely fine. I can do that. That's no problem. And what I'll also do... Actually, no. We'll stay here because I want to see... Oh, no. We're getting the timber trailer with the other tractor. We can deal with that with the other tractor. I got 5 grand coming this way in a minute. So what I can do first is I can just hitch this one on the back. Right there. At least I'm hoping I'll be able to. Oh, I thought I'd be able to do that. Apparently, I cannot. Right, well, I got to run this one back to the farm first. Alright, I've gone and taken that one back and altered the money like I needed to. And I have got a trailer to buy. Forestry equipment. Timber runner, 12 meter auto load. Right there, configuration standard. If we add a trailer hitch, that means we can string two of them together if we want to. I'll possibly add that in later on. What I do want, though, is bigger tyres. I don't like the idea of having small tyres, standard tyres going through the fields. So we will do that. That's 39,600 right there. We've still got 2.5 grand left, which is enough to pay a little bit in wages. Not a huge amount in wages, but there is some in wages that can be paid. So let's just lower that bad boy down there. We don't have access to this land. We don't want access to the land. We just want to load that up. And then I also want to go and load this one up. Let's go and load that one up. So in the comments, I have had several bits of feedback and so on about what people think of different things that I might be doing or might not be doing and so on. And one of the comments that was put forth by, I think it was Glenn Perkins, put forth this one. He said, what is separating this one from the previous hardcore series that I've done? Boulder Canyon, I started with absolutely nothing, and I carved out everything I wanted from the trees there. Then Erlengrat, first off, I went through and I started off with nothing, but I did it with like a whole load of contracts and stuff. Then we went and we pretty much carried on with Erlengrat in the next part of the series. Why aren't you I pressed the button to close it. Press... oh. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. It's because if you press N to open and close, what it actually is doing is opening and closing the door. Which is... yeah. So I just have to not open and close that while I'm using this tractor. I forgot that bit. Yeah, he said so, and then you know, we carried on with Erlengrat in FS22, and now we've started this series here. But I didn't want to do wheat in here. I didn't want to do wheat in this field. I wanted to do canola in this field and wheat over in that field, didn't I? Because I had oats in that field previously. This is supposed to be canola. Let's switch that one off. Oh, canola. Right. Really, I need to go and cultivate out that little patch. Otherwise, we're going to have just a tiny patch of wheat up here, which is just going to be really inconvenient. And, I mean, I want to put the cultivator on this tractor anyway and start cultivating that field down there. So that's what we will do. We'll get the cultivator on and we'll run up there and we'll just correct that little mistake. I think I was saying there was a canola up there. If I wasn't, then... oh, wait a minute. Did I want to plough this field? Let me just check the fields, because obviously it's been a day or two since I've done any recording, so I don't remember what I was doing. Needs rolling, needs lime. It needs to be ploughed. I need to plough that field, not cultivate it. So I want to get the plough on this one and start doing that. But at the same time, I also want to sow. But I also want to do some work getting grain. I think I was going to go with... yeah, I was going to go with canola because I was going to use the same... ooh, okay, we need a front weight on this one. Yeah, I think that's not going to... that's not going to work very well. Let's just unhitch that one there a minute. Going to get a front weight on, shall we? So what is going to separate this series from any other hardcore series? Now, obviously, I'm starting this one with a little bit more money than I have done the previous ones. I sort of said, you know, we've built up to this point now. There's no reason that we can't carry on using the amount of money that we've built up, and we can sort of make use of that. I got a few arbitrary little rules, like I want to start building sheds and that before I get too much more machinery, although I have bought a few more bits of machinery. already making exceptions to my own rules, which I'm going to stop doing. I've got everything I need now in order to make the farm function, just to start with, and we got to get some sheds and stuff built before we can do very much more. I've got everything I want set now with the auto load logging trailer. That was kind of the last thing that we really needed in order to properly get everything underway. So what will separate this series from any other hardcore series? What's going to be the difference? What is going to... The point he was making, it wasn't just, you know, saying it, well, what's the point in doing this series? Like, I haven't taken it as that. I don't believe it was intended as that. I believe it was... What is going to make someone come back and watch this series again? What is the replayability of this series as a set of videos on YouTube? Why are you, the viewer, going to come back and watch this series over some of the others? He also thought that this series might be somewhat short-lived compared to some of the others, because there's not going to be a lot different in this one. So, what I'm asking is, in a very roundabout way, what do you want to see from this series? What would you like me to do in this series to set it apart from other hardcore series that I've done in the past? Is there anything in particular you would like to see in this series to set it apart and make it unique, make it so that you do want to come back and see it again later on when you are, you know, perusing videos and thinking, oh, what do I want to watch? Do I fancy watching the Calm Lands hardcore series? Is there anything that would draw you towards that? So I'm asking for a bit of feedback here. Take your cue off of Mr. Glenn Perkins. Get in the comment section and give me your honest opinions. Just saying, no, I won't watch it, it's rubbish, is not going to help. Tell me what you want to see. Is there anything you can think of personally that would make you want to come back and watch this series again? Is there anything that I may have done already that makes you not want to come back and watch this series again? Now, I believe I said I can have 2 tractors working in the field, but I don't remember. I know I said that we could definitely have 1 because we got myself and we've got Senleia working here. So there's 2 people that live here. And I think that what I said was I can have 2 people working as hired help. It's myself and her, so it's basically both of us taking a wage. I did suggest before about not paying the 2 of us and the worker working for free, and a lot of you really hated that idea, saying that that's, you know, really moving away from hardcore. That's not anything in the hardcore sort of variant. And I agree. I thought about that and I thought, no, I don't actually want to do that. So I'm kind of, what I want to do is as much field work as possible being done with hired help being paid. And the reason that I want hired help being paid is because even if you're just running your own farm, you still need to draw a wage. This tractor's going to struggle with this. Listen to him roar. I'm going to go deaf listening to this. It's insane. So it's... I'm very much of the opinion that I want my hired help to be working the fields. I want hired help working the fields as much as possible because that's me taking a wage out of my farm business, and that's quite a normal thing to go and do. So I will try and do that as much as I possibly can throughout this series, have hired help working in the fields. Now, there's myself and Senleia working, we live here on this farm, and, you know, we run this farm. So there's 2 people. That means we can have 2 hired helps. A number of you said you really liked the idea previously of having, if I want more hired help than that, I've got to have somewhere for them to live before I can hire them. I like that idea as well, so I will probably do that. Someone else said that they really liked this series that I did. I think it was maybe in FS17, actually, on Estancia La Pacho, where I was using random events at the beginning of each week. Now, admittedly, the random events are a bit more difficult because of the way that I record things now. I don't sort of have a set schedule for recording and so on, which is why I stopped doing the random events. But I could probably figure out a way of, like, putting those in. Instead of doing it every time I record, I could add in random events. Why are you lifting out of the ground? I'm thinking I could add in random events based on... Right, that's weird. Based on the timescale on the calendar, because that's a lot easier. You know, now that we've got this timescale on the calendar, we could make use of it. So, the turn of the year, every year, that's what I would do. I would add in a random event. And so, you know, that could be a way that we change things up a little bit. That could be something that adds a bit of extra challenge to the series. Tell me what you think in the comments section down below. Why is this one refusing to plough there? Is it just because it's lifting out of the... I want to get near the edge of the field here. Maybe if I go downhill rather than uphill. Return the plough. This tractor is a noisy devil, isn't it? Let's bring you round here. And we'll try going this way. Again, I'm needing to get a little bit closer to the edge of the field. Is that something that you want, the whole random event thing coming back? If it is something you want, is there anything in particular you think would make that interesting? The random event bit aside, is there anything else you think that you would like to see in a hardcore series that would make it, for you personally, something more interesting than a standard hardcore series? And yes, I know that some of the things that I do are not necessarily classed as hardcore, and that's just how I like to run things. Right, I think the problem that I've got here is that the ground is a little bit uneven on there, so what we're going to do, let's shut that engine off, because this tractor is very noisy, isn't it? Let's go into here, we go to landscaping. We've got free landscaping on this series, so we go here like this. We're going to make use of this free landscape. I'm going to go to soften, like that. I'm going to make that a bit bigger, like that, and then I'm just going to soften the edge the field here. I don't know if this is actually going to do anything. Is it doing anything? I don't even know if it is. The problem with softening, I have said this in other series, is that it no longer raises the ground up at all. It only pushes it down, and that doesn't work very well. If it only pushes the ground down when it's softening, it doesn't work very well when you're in a dip like we are right here on the edge of the field. We've got to kind of like change things a little bit. That means I'm going to have to sort of re-sculpt a little bit of it. Like there. But what that does is it removes the edge of the field that's already there. So I only have to lift it a bit, like that, which completely removes the crop that was there, and probably the effects that were already on the field, and then I've got to redo them, which is a little bit of a nuisance. But it's not... The plough isn't working properly there, and that's not a thing that you would see in real life, the plough lifting out just for something like that. That is definitely a game limitation, so I will landscape around that to remove that game limitation. So we've just put that back down to where it was. It was not quite back down to where it was. I'm hoping that's evened it out a little bit more now that I've sort of used the softening tool. like that. I want to do it down here a little bit further, I think, actually. So let's shrink that down a little bit. Here, like that. And then, again, with the softening tool, like that. And that just kind of blends those edges. And it softens it down until it won't move anymore. But it sort of, it gives it, it has softened the whole slope there. Down here, it is working. You can see it moving there quite substantially, but not up here where I'd actually want it to be working. So then what I'll do is if I'll grab some plants here and we'll just have some grass. Again, it's free, so we can put that in. And all that is going to do is it's going to put the grass back to the edge of the field, because I'm going to go and plough it again. So I'll run that in there. Like that. Bit over here. What would you like to see in this series? That's what I would like to know. Is there anything in particular that you would like to see that you feel would make this a hardcore series that you would like to watch over and over? Or not necessarily over and over, but it would at least sort of keep you a little bit more interested. Give me your suggestions down below. We'll see what we can come up with between us. I'm sure that we can come up with one or two ideas here somewhere. Right, we're going to drag this one up through here. And yeah, I'm definitely going a bit bigger on the field than it was previously. Still not digging in properly with the plough because of the shape of the field and possibly the tractor. Yeah. At least it's doing this bit alright. I'm going to have to turn it over and then go back the other way. And sort of take the edge of the field there. So if we flip the plough over like that. And then we go back round the other way again. Hoping that it will just sort of smooth that bit out over there. Do you think that the whole random event thing is something that you want in the hardcore series, or would you want that in a different one? I wouldn't add it into the Rizzu Forests series. That one, I've got my goals and everything. I've got what I want to do with that series going on quite nicely, and so if it wasn't something you wanted to see in a hardcore series, I would add it in once I've finished doing what I want to do with the Rizzu Forest and we move on to a new map on that one, then that would be the non-hardcore series to go to. Like, we could build a whole new series based around the idea of random events right from the get-go, and that would sort of be the main focus of a new series. That's probably why that plough isn't sort of digging in very easily there. It's up in the air a lot. Like, there's a lot of slope on that bit. If you look at it from this angle, it shouldn't be that bad. We'll see. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I think it'll be alright. Most of the rest of it seems okay. And I was able to smooth out and soften a fair bit of it. If I've got to do a little bit more work on this field to make it a bit better for us, then we'll do that later on. What we may end up doing is turning this part of the field into yard anyway. Like, it may end up being a pig pen or storage space for machinery and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure yet. And I've got one more pass that I've got to do for creating new fields on here. We'll come all the way back down here. I'm going to do that one last little bit, and then I can turn off the allow create fields, and I'll let the hired help carry on working this field here. should just be able to carry on here. I'll do one more all the way around the field, I think. I know in real life you wouldn't plough around, you wouldn't do the headlands first and then do the interior part of the field. You would do the interior part of the field first and do the headlands last. But for gameplay purposes, it's a lot better to do it this way round. And so that's the only reason that I do it like this. It does make life a lot easier for us. Okay, he has made it all the way up there. Let's lift that one, turn off the allow create field, and then we will head on round the field. And we'll do one more pass all the way around the field, and then I will start hired help working on here. I'm hoping this tractor is able to cope with it. We can't turn very sharp with this tractor, and this plough is too big for this tractor. This plough is too big for this tractor, I will be the first to admit to that. But yeah, I think that overall it's not going to be too bad. The Boulder Canyon series, I did end up having pigs on there, but I mean, we didn't do a great deal with pigs on there. We did a little bit with them, but not a lot. This series, pigs is going to be sort of a main focus. I want to push towards getting pigs as quickly as I can, and building up on that, and then being sort of a larger scale pig producer. And I think that's going to be quite an interesting thing to do. Keeping the pigs themselves is fairly easy. You can also just go and buy the food from the store and put it through the pigs, and you can still turn a profit on it like that. Not very much of a profit, because I don't think you can on the hardcore settings, but you still do turn a profit. However, if you start putting your own grain into them, that's when you really start making the money, because you make a lot more money if you put it through pigs than you do the other ways. You can still make money on it selling it. You make more money if you turn the grain into flour and oil and sell it that way. But it doesn't make as much money as if you put all of it through the pigs, or at least as much as we can. And the whole point of what we're going to do is we'll put as much grain as we can through the pigs, but if we have surplus, if we have stuff left over, then we will happily go and put that through the mill that we've got at the top, and possibly later on a larger mill that we upgrade to. What I don't want to be doing in this series, if I can help it, is just selling grain as it is. I would like to try to avoid that, would like to try everything else I can to spin money out of the various different grain and so on that we can have. So I'm just going to bring this one over to here, lower that one down there, and set the hired help going. Right. Leia is going to carry on doing the ploughing right there for us. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.